Hey, Queens, did you ever feel like you wanted to be crazy about a guy before getting into a relationship? Or did you ever feel like you wanted to dump someone because you weren't crazy about them? So maybe you had a tendency to want to feel fireworks and be crazy about a guy for you to want to be in a relationship with him. Well, today we're going to talk about this feminine energy killer when you like him more than he likes you. We're going to be talking about the power dynamics and what happens in the long term. So, if this has been you, where you just weren't that into him, then maybe you want to keep on watching. So, a lot of times, a lot of my clients, like their biggest problem they have is that they find him boring, or as a friend of mine, she's a friend of mine that is chronically single. She's going to be 41 now. She's a single mother and yeah, chronically single. So she's a friend of mine because she's someone that I met in university and so on, right? But so she complains about being single, yet whenever, I've said to her, you want to be with someone that likes you like more than you like them. And she's like, well, I don't want a fan. I don't want him to be my fan. I want it to be an equal relationship. And while that is a cute logic, like logical logic, it just so happens that human nature is anything but logical, anything but equal. And the reality is that men men are hunters. And the minute that you are liking a man more than he likes you, you are in chasing energy. So let's think about the Hailey Bieber and Justin Bieber example. If you know their story, so she was a fan of him, not the other way around, but she was a fan of him. And she she had been crazy about him long before he, you know, got together with her. And their dynamic, their relationship has always been where she's the one putting up with the bullshit. She's the nice girl, right? Putting up with his disrespect and so on and so forth. And as you can see, men will they will use you. They will be there and they'll use you as they'll even marry you, for fuck's sake, right? So you know, they'll use you as their, I don't know, like their freaking doormat. So a lot of them need that, right? Or want that. Unhealthy ones, certainly, right? So Justin Bieber is someone that is absolutely unhealthy. So she has always been the fangirl. And guess what? She's disrespected left and right. So that's an example that everybody can watch in the open, in the public, where you can see that you liking this guy more, you being crazy about the guy, is nothing but a red flag. You are the red flag. Why? Because you are to be courted, you are to be pursued, you are to be chased. When you're not, you are chasing him, by putting up with the bullshit. If you guys break up, you'll take him again, right? This is chasing energy. Maybe you're not literally running to chase him, but you are mentally doing that, energetically doing that. And we've talked about this before, where if you understand that we are connected, all of us are connected through the, collective consciousness, you'll realize that he can feel it. He will react, in the beginning and give you attention, but then at the end of the day, you are chasing him. So the clients that had the issues where they wanted to be crazy about the guy, they soon had to rewire their brain to not look for those fireworks, that excitement, and be cool-headed and be like, okay, is he good for me? Is he a match for me, for my values and what I see myself in the long term? So how to tell you're more into him than he's more into you? Well, for one, you are crazy about him. You're starting from there, you're crazy about him. But is he more crazy about you? So oftentimes there's always one that is more into the other one, right? If you are crazy about him, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to see clearly, let alone if you started pair bonding. And let me just say, it's not even necessary for you to have actual, sex with him for you to start pair bonding. The minute you start, hanging out too much, or, getting close, being intimate, pair bonding. It's when it starts to happen, and you have a veil in your, in your brain, in your eyes, you can't see clear. And you won't even realize that. I really don't think or know that there's like equal, uh, loving each other equally. And if that's the case, well, hello, zero polarity, like 2 or 3 years down the road, right? Because if the man is not chasing you, and yeah, let me break it to you. Once you're married and all of that, that has to continue. If he's not chasing you, he's going to be chasing something. And I don't think he's going to be chasing rats, right? So this dynamic always has to be there, some way, somehow. Because if it's not there in the beginning, you'll have to recreate it somehow after, right? So we've talked about that before, but I thought it would be a good example to mention you know, the couple that we all know. And, what's funny is that since they are a public couple, it's like everything's magnified, right? Like out in the open, and like every scene of disrespect is out there. That is literally how others view your relationship from the outside. That's how it looks when it's clear that you're more into him than he is. And your friends, your family, they can see it. Like just as pathetic as Justin and Hailey look, right? More so her rather than him. I mean, he he's obviously a psycho and he's sick in the head, right? Clearly from the way he treats her and all the problematic, lifestyle and things. But to your friends and family, like, you're no different, right? They're not telling you. They won't tell you, right? They'll try to sugarcoat it and soften it. It's funny. Somebody in the comments said, hey, you're brutal. You're brutal, but you're saying the things that everyone else is thinking. And, so that is literally my job as a coach, because you have your friends to sugarcoat it for you and say, oh, he's just a narcissist. You're just great. You don't have to change anything about yourself. He's just a narcissist, right? So, so yeah. So then what happens? So are you thinking, well, I do, like, am I supposed to be with someone I don't like and that I cringe and I have the ick for? Well, you don't want to have the ick, and you don't want to cringe, but they have to be someone that you like to a degree. You like them on paper, according to your values and that kind of thing. And they want to be someone that you feel safe around and all of those things. And someone that you can be friendly with and have a friendly conversation with, because if they're pursuing you and they're crazy about you, let me just say that over time, you will be crazy about them for sure. It can be years, and that's even better, right? Because why? Because love is a verb and love is earned. Like, your love is to be earned. You understand? So trust, like true, genuine, deep trust that is built over time is something, built over time. It doesn't happen overnight. So if you're with a guy that, you know, you are so into, you're crazy about him, a lot of times you're going to be on alert. Is he with someone else? You're watching his every move, right? So you are in chasing mode, in chasing energy. And that is pretty repelling in the long term. So if you ever found yourself saying that, oh, I'm not going to continue seeing this guy because he just doesn't do it for me, right? You got to look at it from a logical, like from a rational standpoint. Is he good for me? What is he doing for me? Is he a match for my values in the long term, right? Which is what, relationships that stand the test of time, it's about matching values, like we said, because like attraction and all of that, it changes after the honeymoon and all of that. It all really changes according to what you're doing in terms of polarity, right? Like what energy you're in. So anyway, ladies, I just wanted to come with this brief message that I've actually talked about in pretty much a lot of my videos, but since this is such a prevalent issue, I feel like it has to be talked until the cows come home. So anyway, ladies, that's it for now, and I'll talk to you later. Bye now.